A big victory for President Trump today. A New York appeals court threw out that $500 million civil fraud fine against him, calling it excessive under the Eighth Amendment, which basically bars cruel and unusual punishment. The lawsuit brought by New York Democrat AG Letitia James right before the election alleged Trump misrepresented his assets to secure better business loans. She says that she'll appeal even as she faces her own mortgage fraud allegations. The irony in that one. Now, last year in March, I spoke with attorney David Pivtorak, who accurately predicted part of this outcome. Take a look. What's your prediction for Trump's New York civil fraud ruling appeal?
I think the decision gets overturned by the Court of Appeals. In either case, this gets overturned.
All right, let's welcome back David Pivtorak. Pivtorak, back to the show. David, good to have you back. So looking back at your, accurate prediction on this civil portion more than a year ago, when you also said Letitia James's lawsuit was a political hit job, and we should all remember that she campaigned on getting Trump, right? We all remember that. So does today's ruling confirm that for you, even though the liability part still stands?
Correct, yeah. And sorry, no hat today. A little wardrobe change.
Right, no cowboy hat, darn. It's okay, you still look good.
Yeah, and I think it confirms what I said, but not only does it confirm that, but as you probably saw, it was a 300-page decision by 5 different justices. There were 3 separate opinions, and at least one of the justices actually said what I said, that this was essentially a political hit job by Letitia James, and it also really went after her using some language that you really wouldn't expect from a justice, calling it a political hit job, and that it was completely motivated by politics rather than any kind of motivation to protect consumers in New York. And all the judges essentially called out the judge who made this $500 billion decision, saying that it was excessive and had really nothing to do with disgorging any of the alleged penalties and fraud that the Trump administration or the Trump organization allegedly engaged in. So even though both sides right now are declaring victory, I think this is a resounding win for Trump, as I predicted last March.
You did. Did anything surprise you, though, about the court's decision today?
Really, I was a little surprised that that we had at least 2 of the judges who would have gone and completely overturned this thing, saying that the judge, the biased New York judge in this case, really made some really biased and excessive rulings in granting summary judgment to Letitia James in this case. So I was a little surprised that they were that upfront about it, and I was really surprised that one justice was so open and honest about really what the underlying theme of this whole thing was, which is a politically motivated hit job to destroy Trump and to keep him running for office, which ironically only boosted his popularity and the rightful belief in many Americans' eyes that the entire political establishment was trying to keep him from coming back and doing what he's doing in his second term, which is really making America great again.
Yeah, that kind of backfired, though, the effort to take him down politically. But with the liability for fraud still standing, the temporary ban, keeping Trump and his sons from doing business in New York, for a few years. What's next legally? Could this head to New York's highest court?
Yeah, so New York's highest court, strangely enough, it's called the Court of Appeal rather than the Supreme Court, which a lot of legal scholars in New York have been pointing out today on Twitter. So I think ultimately the Court of Appeals will side with the justices, with at least 3 of the justices that say this was a wrongfully granted summary judgment, and that it should at least go back to the trial court for a full trial, if not a complete dismissal, as one justice so rightfully called for. And I believe that the the end result will be a complete dismissal of these politically motivated charges.
Okay, another prediction. We're going to have you back on once
Two
the
for
end
two.
result comes out. David Pivtorak, Pivtorak Law Firm. Appreciate your time today. Good to see you, my friend.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.